In this video, we will be looking at 2.6, sales tax, tips, and markup. So my essential question is, how do I find a final price that includes a tax or a tip? So the point in this lesson is to realize that the sticker price that we see isn't always the final price that we pay. When we're at a store, a lot of times we have to pay a tax, and then if we go out to eat or get any kind of service, a lot of times we'll leave a tip. So let's give some definitions. A sales tax is a tax that is a percent of the total sales. A tip, or gratuity, another word for tip, is a percentage of the bill. The bill is your final amount that you're paying for the meal. A percentage of the bill that is paid to the server. Commission is when a salesperson, that could be someone who sells a car or furniture, any kind of like big ticket items. And what I mean by big ticket is expensive items. So anytime you're buying something that's probably over $500 or $600, the salesperson, the person that you're working with, is paid a percent of the total sale. So, like for instance, a car salesman might receive like 2% of the value of the car. So that's how they make their money. They're not making money by selling the car. All that money would go to the car company, but the salesperson, that person you're actually interacting with, would receive um, a little bit of money from the actual selling of the car. So markup is the amount added to the cost of goods. So what this means is, if you own your own business, you have to purchase the items that you're going to sell. So there's like a company that makes a bunch of stuff. Say you're running like a camping store. You don't make the tents, you don't make the sleeping bags. You purchase these items. You purchase a variety of them from the different companies that make them, and then you have to mark it up so you can make a profit. So you buy it for say $60, and then you would sell it for $80. So that's how markup works. Okay, so the process to doing this is the process. Step 1. at. Multiply the percent as a decimal. So we'll turn that percent into a decimal. Multiply the percent by the cost. Step 2. Add this number to the cost. So first you multiply the percent by the cost. That will give you the tip that you're giving. That will give you the tax that you're going to pay. And then you take that amount and you add it to the cost. So that's the way you know how much is actually coming out of your pocket. So let's look at a couple of examples. I'm only going to do 2 examples so we can keep this video short, and then we'll call it a day. So Kathy wants to buy a new backpack that costs $32. There is an 8% sales tax. What will be the total cost of the backpack? So first we need to find the amount of the sales tax, and that's step 1. Multiply the percent as a decimal by the cost. So I have my percent is 8%. And we'll start with 8%, but we need to turn it into a decimal. So when we move our decimal twice, 1, 2, we get that is equal to 0. Fill in my blank, 0.08. Now, I'll take my 0.08 and multiply times the cost, the $32. And that will give me, we'll pull out our handy dandy calculator, 2.56. So $2.56 is our tax. So there's part A. I found how much I'm paying in just tax. Now how am I going to figure out my total cost, the amount of money that I'm spending all together? Well, it's not just $32 because that's the cost of the backpack. I have to include the tax. So I'll take my 32 and I'll add to that the tax. So there's my original cost plus my tax, and that will equal my final amount, which is $34.56. And this is how much I'm actually paying. So we always pay a little bit more than what the sticker says because we have to pay our tax, or maybe we have to give a tip or something like that. So let's look at if we're doing a tip. It's the same practice. I'll multiply, turning my percent into a decimal, then multiply by my cost, and then to figure out my total, I'll add my cost to that amount after multiplying. So Scotty wants to tip his taxi cab driver 20%. If his commute costs $15, what is the total cost? So the first thing we'll want to do, just like we did in number 1, is we will turn that 20% into its decimal. So I'll write in my hidden decimal, move it 2 places, and we get 0.20. Now we'll take that 0.20 and we're going to multiply it by our cost, the $15. And when we multiply these two together, 0.20 times 15, we get 3. So the tip is going to be $3. So we're going to leave a $3 tip. And now we're going to take the cost and we'll add to that our tip, the $3. And this is how much we're actually going to spend all together on our cab ride, and that would be $18. So those are just a couple examples on how we can find the tax, the tip, the commission, or the markup. We multiply the cost by that percent, and then we take that result and we add it to our original cost. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.